Imagine, how would you feel if a doctor told you that within 10 years you would be in a wheelchair and you would not be able to recognize the people closest to you because your brain would face a cognitive decline? That is my story. Let me take you back when I was in my 20s. Life was awesome. I had just graduated from school, newly promoted, newly engaged, shopping for my first house. I had all my goals planned out, and I was so excited to start my life. But along that cycle, I was going through some health challenges. The tingling in my fingers and toes were very prominent. I was dropping things so often. I would fall. I lost peripheral vision in my left eye. I was forgetful. At the age of 30, I sat in my neurologist's office and she showed me my MRI and all the spots that I had on my brain. Many were close to my cerebellum. That was the day that she diagnosed me with multiple sclerosis. I never imagined that at such a young age I would have MS, a disease with no cure, where my own body attacks my immune system. All of a sudden, I felt like somebody put these opaque glasses on me, where I no longer could see this future that I had envisioned. I spent many years trying to figure out, how can I find happiness? If there isn't a cure, I need my goals back. I need to be on a journey to find how I can be happy. I wanted to find happiness. What happened next was my journey, my pursuit of finding happiness. One day, I was driving to work. First, I dropped my son off at school, and I was rushing to get to work because I needed to get to a meeting. And as I was driving and I was speeding, I look in my rearview mirror. Guess what I saw? Red flashing lights. And I thought, I'm going to get another speeding ticket again. I pull over. And I thought, maybe it'll be a good day after all. Maybe the constable will be the same one I had last time. I envisioned him coming out of his car with swagger, wearing his uniform. He came to my window, and with a female voice, she said, "Hello, ma'am." I fumbled as I was trying to get my driver's license. I gave it to her, dropped some things. She went back to the police car, and I waited, thinking, I'm going to be more late. And I waited, and I thought, I'm for sure going to be late for my meeting. And you know what? That whole time that I was waiting, she took away all the time that I had made up speeding. She came back to my car, and she looked at my arm. I was wearing short sleeves that day. And she was staring at my arm. You see, that night, the reason why I was kind of having a tough morning was because one of the worst symptoms that I feel when my body is in a relaxed state is I am so itchy that I feel like someone is pouring bugs all over me. And to relieve the itching, I have a fork in my nightstand. And I scratch my itches so hard that sometimes I leave trails of blood in my forearm. So she looked at the dry blood. She said, I don't know what you're going through, but there's help out there. And I know you're a good mom. I saw that picture you dropped when you were fumbling for your license. Is that your son? I said, yeah. He just turned 6. She said, he's beautiful. There are people out there that you can call if you need it. Go ahead. So as she gave me my ticket, that was the first time I actually smiled getting a ticket. As she left, I thought to myself, wow, she was aware. She was aware of what I was going through, and she took time to be kind. She smiled. She lowered the fee of my speeding ticket. She sent me on my way. And as I was almost at my office, I was at a red light, and I looked to my right, and there was a senior old lady there, crying hysterically. She was wiping the tears from beneath her glasses. I felt compelled to help her. I was aware that she needed help. So I yelled out at her, "Ma'am, are you okay?" She shook her head back and forth as she squinted to try to see the street signs. I didn't know what was going on. I just knew that she needed help. So then I yelled again, "Ma'am, when the light turns green, I'm going to cut in front of you. I want you to follow me into that plaza." That's exactly what we did. We drove, we parked, I ran to her window, and I said, "Are you okay?" She said, "My daughter is in the hospital having her first child at this moment. And her husband left her this morning. I promised my daughter that I would be there to help her, and she's alone." Can you imagine how I felt? I wanted nothing more than to help her. So I wrote down instructions. I was aware that she needed help. And as I was writing them down, the hospital was so close, I was talking to her. I said, "You're going to be there." And I was telling her a little bit about my life and just kind of breaking the moment and having her breathe deeply. And I said, "Here's my business card. On your way to the hospital, if you aren't feeling well or you get lost again, I want you to stop at a gas station and call me. I will be there for you." She said, "Thank you." And I also told her that as you're driving there, I am going to call the hospital and make sure that they tell your daughter that you are on your way. And I will make sure that they know that you are safe and you will be there. She said, "Thank you." She drove off. I got on the hospital, and I made sure that I stayed on that phone with that volunteer until they came back to me to say, her daughter is aware. She hasn't yet had the baby. She will soon. I said, "Thank you." When I got to work, I felt relieved. I thought I was aware of an opportunity, and I was kind. And that was the day that I finally found 4 words that brought me happiness. You see, kindness goes a long way. It's a non-medicinal way to heal within. 2 months later, I received a letter from her. It was the first time that I had heard from her. I have that letter with me today, and I would like to share it with you. "Dear Gabriella, my angel, I think about you often and how kind you were to a distressed old lady. Thanks to you, I witnessed the birth of my grandson. Both the baby and my daughter are fine. Thank you for being aware that I needed help. Thank you for being kind. Here is a little something. Maybe you can get a pedicure or get your son something for Christmas. From Jeannie." You see, Jeannie called me her angel, but little did she know, she was mine. I found happiness in 4 words. The common words in the days preceding up to this letter was be aware, be kind. I figured it out. Being aware of opportunities around you doesn't mean you have to schedule kindness into your calendar. There are opportunities all around us that we can take. And I realized from that experience that every time I did an act of kindness, I felt better. And inside, I was healing. Kindness is like the ripple effect. If I were to take a stone and whip it into the water, there would be waves rippling around that stone. And the waves get bigger. And the lily pad over there might do a little dance, and the birds will sing, and the frog will jump, because that's the energy that we've just thrown into the water. That's what kindness is. When we throw kindness, it spreads. Now, kindness, it's nothing new. But the idea of being aware and then being kind is something that we can all look at and take advantage in. You see, I gave my son the money that she had put in the envelope. And he said to me, "Mommy, that was really nice of what you did. I want you to give that money to a charity." That's when the ripple effect started to unfold. That came from a 6-year-old who had a hard time communicating his thoughts. And yet, the police officer was nice to me. I was aware, kind to the lady. She was kind back to me. My son, the ripple effect started. And who knows how many other people we hit. See, kindness isn't linear. It's not like I have to help you and you have to help me. No. When you put it out there, it's going to come back to you one day in some form. And just to prove that point with my son, one day after school, when I opened up his lunch bag, he left me the most beautiful note. He said, "Dear Mommy, everything was okay, except for the rice. You need to put more butter. Love, Gianluca," with a little smiley face. Now again, that's from a child that had a hard time communicating, and yet he found a way to be kind with me. And I'm sure that ripple effect took place again through his life in school. You see, Jeannie, she definitely was my angel. She motivated me to start a movement, a kindness movement called Be Aware, Be Kind. That's what I was in pursuit of.
Shoveling snow, or cutting someone's grass without them even asking you to.
Stopping at a kid's lemonade stand and buying a drink.
Giving your umbrella to a stranger when it's raining.
Sending postcards to sick children in hospitals.
Kindness is
giving food to a homeless person.
Noticing someone who needs help with directions and approaching them before they ask you for help.
Kindness is
donating your unused clothing at Small Appliances.
Writing a positive review for someone on social media without being asked.
Serving food at a homeless shelter.
Saying hello and smiling at everybody in the elevator.
And kindness is loving for others what you love for yourself.
Kindness is
showing your support for a friend while walking in a fundraiser.
Watering your neighbor's lawn or flowers.
Saying hi to strangers on the train, bus, or subway.
Donating your glasses and hearing aids.
Asking someone, "How are you really doing?" and then really listening for a response.
Volunteering at a charity event. Raising money for families in need.
Giving blood.
Be aware.
Be kind.
Be aware. Be kind.
Join us in the kindness movement.
Be aware. Be kind.
Do you remember when I told you that my neurologist told me that within 10 years, I would no longer be able to walk and my brain would suffer cognitive decline? I was diagnosed 15 years ago. I'm still standing, and I remembered this speech. Thank you. Thank you. Think about your life. What are you going through? What do you want to heal in your core, in your soul? Do you want to be happy? If you want to be happy and find healing, please raise your hand. Oh, yeah. All right. So then, will you join me in a challenge? Will you find an opportunity to be aware this week? Find an opportunity to be kind. Is the answer yes? Yes. Yes or yes? Yes. Yes or yes? Yes. Wonderful. That will help you heal. I truly believe in my core, in my soul, that I am healing. I will always have MS until there's a cure. But MS does not have me. I will choose the right attitude. I will be kind to others, because by doing so, it allows us to find happiness in those 4 words. Be aware, be kind. I ask you again, this week, take the opportunity to be aware, be kind. Be aware? Be kind. Be aware? Be kind. Be aware? Be kind. Thank you.